Good evening. Welcome to the Kent City Council meeting for Tuesday, September 7th, 2021. If you would all rise and join me in the flag salute, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, Kim, would you please call the roll?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Mayor Ralph.
Here.
Council President Troutner.
Here.
Councilmember Boyce.
Here.
Councilmember Fincher.
Here.
Councilmember Kaur.
Here.
Councilmember Larmer.
Here.
Councilmember Michaud.
Here.
Councilmember Thomas.
Here.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Kim. Moving on, item number 3 is approval of the agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda from council or staff?
No changes from staff this evening.
All right. Seeing no changes, a motion would be in order to approve the agenda as published.
Madam Mayor, I move to approve the agenda.
Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, agenda is approved. Item number 4 is public communications. The first item we have, public recognition. We have a couple of things, and then I do want to add some public recognition. Want to give a shout out to a former Youth Parks Commissioner and Kent resident. She is pretty amazing, Jaylene Roberts. I don't know if that name sounds familiar to you. She's a para-Olympian. And so I was scrolling through Facebook today and came across a post from KM. So she's also a fellow Royal, so that just moves it way up, right? Go Royals. Jaylene graduated in 2017, and she is officially an Olympic silver medalist in the Paralympic Games in Tokyo. She took silver for the long jump and the 100 meters last week. She also broke the record by running as a member of the United States team, record-setting time of 13.16 seconds in the 100 meters. So want to say congratulations to Jaylene. She's been a part of our parks family for a long time. Like I said, served as a youth commissioner on the board and grew up using the Kent's park system. So congratulations, Jaylene. We are super proud of you. All right, the next item we have under public recognition is our Employee of the Month. And tonight, I am very excited that we have our Employee of the Month joining us, and it is Katie Ball. She is our September Employee of the Month. I'm going to read a little bio, and then I'm going to ask Steve to come up and say a few words. Katie joined the city as a plans examiner in March of 2018. She was nominated because she exemplifies the values of integrity, caring, communication, teamwork, innovation, and achievement. It was noted in her nomination that her interactions with our constituents are made with the goal of being helpful as possible. She often interacts with customers who may be frustrated, and by the end of the phone call, they're laughing and have a clear idea of what the next steps are. Katie consistently and frequently goes out of her way to bring a little extra love and kindness to her coworkers as well. She never hesitates to offer a kind and encouraging remark. Her nomination also stated, "You can go to Katie with a question and she will provide the most detailed answer with drawings if needed to make sure that you fully understand the situation and walk away with new tools and knowledge to assist future applicants." Katie has also taken on the role of being the guru for Bluebeam, which is a software that we use to examine plans. She is the go-to person for staff and customers. The City of Kent is better able to serve our residents, and the ECD team thrives because of Katie. Katie has a go-get-em attitude and is always willing to take on new challenges, and she continuously embraces our values, and we celebrate her as September's Employee of the Month. Everybody, big congratulations to Katie Ball, our September Employee of the Month. And Steve Wilson is going to join us and give us a few words about Katie.
Well, good evening. It's like we wrote the same speech. I almost have the exact same things. I'm Steve Wilson. I'm the building official. I've worked here for 22 years now, and it's an honor to have one of my employees as the Employee of the Month. Katie came to us 3.5 years ago from the private sector. She was tired of driving all over the Northwest and she wanted a stable place to work that was close to home, which was really good because now she's expanding her family. Oop. As the mayor said, Katie has been very instrumental as we moved into the electronic plan review system with Bluebeam. Katie knew it from the private side, and she helped our IT department set it up and train the rest of the staff within the city for using it. She is, Katie has got a great attitude. She is always willing to take on challenges, and she always strives to further her knowledge in our industry. She's always eager to assist the public and go the extra mile when they have questions or they need guidance on projects. Katie embodies the best qualities as a public employee, always willing to help our constituents. She is also ready to help fellow staff members no matter what is asked of her. It has always been a pleasure to work with Katie these past few years, and I look forward to working with her for many years to come.
All right, congratulations, Katie. Do you want to come up and say a few words? That is totally fine. I always ask. No, thank you so much for everything you do to take care of our community every single day. And we are very proud that you are part of the ECD team and the bigger City of Kent team. So congratulations. All right. Next on our agenda is a proclamation. And this proclamation is about something that can be very sad, but at the end of it, it'll be a victory. And so I'm going to go ahead and read it, and then we're going to invite our very own Judd family up to accept the proclamation. Okay. Whereas each year in the United States, more than 15,780 children from birth to 19 are diagnosed with cancer, equal to about 42 childhood cancer diagnoses each day. And whereas approximately 1 in 285 children in the United States will be diagnosed with cancer before their 20th birthday, with this number increasing each year. And although the 5-year survival rate for childhood cancers has reached 84%, nearly 1,500 American children under the age of 19 still die each year from cancer, making it the leading killer of our children. Whereas 2/3 that do survive will face at least one chronic health condition later in life, but not limited to, or including but not limited to, heart, liver, and lung damage, secondary cancers, and growth deficits. And whereas the causes of childhood cancer are largely unknown and more studies are needed to understand which treatments work best for children, and whereas cancer treatment for children must differ from traditional adult treatment to take into account children's developmental needs and other factors, there are more types of and variances of childhood cancer than adult cancer. And whereas there are hundreds of children being treated for and winning the fight against cancer in Washington, and whereas Kent is a caring community that supports children and families, now therefore I, Dana Ralph, Mayor of Kent, do hereby proclaim September 2021 as Childhood Cancer Awareness Month in Kent, Washington, and encourage residents to join me in reaffirming our commitment to fighting childhood cancer and winning this battle. Stacy, Jack, you guys want to come up? Cooper, Maddie, Grandma. Do a quick picture. Here you guys.
Don't hide behind your head.
There she is. I know you guys have heard me talk. This is my 3rd time, but as the mayor mentioned, our story has ended in victory. I just want to say, so I'll introduce. So this is Jack right here. Jack is 9 and in 4th grade. This is Cooper, also 9 and in 4th grade.
Don't say my age.
This is Maddie, and she is 16 and a junior in high school. And then this is my mom, Cheryl, and we'll leave out the rest of the information. And then Bill couldn't join us tonight because he has to work. But I've actually written, do I have a minute? Okay. Mayor Ralph, and I wrote it down so I wouldn't cry, okay? Mayor Ralph and members of the council, thank you for your continued support of childhood cancer. not only during the month of September, but always. As the mayor mentioned in the proclamation, the city of Kent has been fabulous in the support of childhood cancer, especially with my family. Since Jack was diagnosed in the spring of 2019, our entire family has had so much support from the entire city. My department, the police department, our HR department, and everybody from other departments that donated leave so I didn't have to worry about work while I was away. Even people ask all the time, how is Jack? And how's the rest of the family? And it means everything. All of this making our journey lighter to travel. In 2019, Jack was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia. His first 8 months of treatment were the most intense, with frequent visits to Children's. The remainder 2.5 years were spent taking nightly chemotherapy pills at home and monthly labs and doctor's appointments. Throughout the time, he was put under anesthesia approximately 12 times. He also had to have occupational and physical therapy due to the effects of chemotherapy on his joints. In addition, during this time, Jack was not able to attend school full-time or at all. All the while, Maddie and Cooper were worried about him and had to live their own lives going to school and focusing on other things as well. It was especially hard for them as Jack was admitted to the hospital once at diagnosis and then once a year later. They were amazing. In June, Jack had his port removed and on July 5th, 2021, Jack took his last chemotherapy medication. He continues to go in for labs once a month, along with a video visit with his children's team. Every 3 months, he goes into Children's. He just had one this last week and is doing fabulous. He's doing great, and we continue to see his energy and his wit return as the chemo wears off. I accepted this proclamation as well last year as well, and as soon as I got off the meeting, I went on Facebook, and I had seen that one of my former students from the high school I taught at, her 2-year-old boy was also diagnosed with ALL. It was almost as soon as after I got off. Just a week ago, a local Kent family lost their 17-year-old son to cancer. I volunteer for Footprints of Fight, a local community organization that helps families who are also going through childhood cancer. I'm an intake coordinator, and I am constantly submitting applications for families from all over who are facing childhood cancer. I share this with the ask that we continue to support childhood cancer research and the amazing hospitals such as Mary Bridge, Seattle Children's, and the Seattle Cancer Care Alliance. Jack's team at Seattle Children's has been one of the pieces that have helped us through this. His nurse practitioner, his doctor, his nurse coordinator, his child life specialist, nurses, and anesthesiologists have all become part of our family. They need our support so that they continue this fight against childhood cancer. Thank you guys for everything.
Thank you. You guys have been through an amazing fight, and we are so happy for the good news.
Thank you.
So one quick question, Jack, are you back playing Little League yet?
Did you play Little League this spring? Yes. This summer?
Once.
How did it go? Pretty good?
Was it good? Yep, him and Cooper played Little League, and then they were also on the Kent Swim and Tennis swim team this summer.
Oh, good.
Awesome.
And tennis.
Okay,
And
good.
tennis. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing the story, and it is the reason why we will continue to support and fight.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. See, I said there was good news at the end of that, and that's the best news ever. Okay. The next item on our agenda is community events. Council President, do you have any community events?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just a few events to share. On the 18th of September at 9 a.m., we have one of our fall litter cleanups, which is a great time for you and your family to volunteer and pick up some of the trash and garbage around the city. Everything is provided for you, and they're meeting at Curson Park. We also have our Spotlight series that is continuing. Really great events for families, anybody looking for a night out. On the 9th of October, we have Collision of Rhythm, which is at 7:30 at the KM Performing Arts Center. And then on the 22nd of October at 7:30, we have Luca Strignoli. So if you're interested, please check out the city's website. There's tickets available and lots of different opportunities to attend some of our fun events. Thank you.
All right, Councilmember Thomas.
Madam President, Madam Mayor, there's been rumors around town that the Kraken may be coming to town. Is anything but solidified?
October 2nd, they will be playing a preseason game at Showware Center.
All right. All right. Kraken and Kent. I like it.
Yes. All right, any other community events? All right.
Okay.
Seeing none, we will move on in our agenda to reports. So, feels like it's been a long time since our last council meeting. Couple of highlights. I continue to serve as chair of the Transportation Policy Board as well as the Project Selection Task Force. We do meet this coming week to continue that work. We wrapped up flood control district for the year, so that is all complete. I think that most of the rest of my meetings were in hiatus for the month of August. I do have one quick point of personal privilege before I end my report. Two things. I want to wish Derek Matheson and his lovely wife happy anniversary. He's spending his evening here with us. And then I also would like to wish my husband happy anniversary. It is our 30th wedding anniversary today. So he's at home not watching this meeting. And I think we're going to go out to dinner tomorrow night. But just as a point of personal privilege, did want to shout out to him for being such a wonderful guy and putting up with me for the last 30 years. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Derek Matheson, our Chief Administrative Officer.
All right. Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate the nice words and congratulations to you too as well. I just wanted to remind the council that we've got a special meeting coming up in 3 weeks on Tuesday, September 28th at 4 o'clock. That's where the mayor will present the proposed 2022 mid-biennium budget adjustment, and then we'll adjourn that special meeting and roll into a special workshop where the finance director will orient the council to the budget workbook, and then we'll start a series of workshops in October to work our way through the budget with the goal to adopt that just before Thanksgiving. The rest of my written report is in the packet. Did want to let you know we do have an executive session on the agenda this evening. The topic is collective bargaining. Expected time is about 30 minutes, and we don't expect any action when we come back into open session. So thank you.
All right. Thank you, Derek. Council President Troutner, I will turn it over to you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We had workshop earlier this evening, 2 great presentations. The first one was from our sewer and storm drainage projects from our Public Works Department. Lots of things that are happening just to continue to make improvements across the city so that we can all go about our lives normally. Lots of repair to sewer pipe. There was one that was repaired down on Smith by the senior center. If you recall, we had a huge rain event in 2019, which washed out a part of Riverview Boulevard, so there were improvements done there. Lots of manhole work, lots of kind of cringes from council members that feel that that's a little bit claustrophobic. So we're thankful to our Public Works team for going down in those manholes and making the needed repairs. Also making repairs to our easements, sometimes in between people's properties, just so that our Public Works teams can get back there and do what they need to do safely and easily. Also, information on our storm drain projects where they've responded to spills. The saying is only rain down the drain. So making sure that we're keeping oil or contaminants that can get down into our drain system out of that area. Also within our storm drain system, easement improvements, culvert cleaning where it's needed, and also helping with some of our catch basin cleanup so that we can keep those areas from flooding when we have those heavy rains. So lots of really great information. And again, if you didn't get to see it, you can go back and watch any of our workshops. And then the second presentation was on our Green Kent program, something that council has wanted to talk about for quite some time. If you recall, back in 2019, we put a pause on that program because of some budget cuts, limited some of those events. And then, of course, COVID hit, which affected those events even further. So we're looking forward to seeing those come back. There's been some changes in the amount of hours that we're allowed to use those volunteers. So hopefully we'll get to bring that program back in full swing. We do have a part-time natural resource specialist, and she sounds really excited about getting out there and cleaning up areas around our city that, not surprisingly, got neglected when our Green Kent program was kind of put on pause. So if you could imagine, especially Clark Lake Park, lots of invasive species that have taken over that area. So one of those things that we'll be watching is that program coming back and volunteers being able to get back out there and take care of their neighborhood parks. I also sit on the Regional Transit Committee. We will be meeting next Wednesday on the 15th. And this is kind of an important meeting. We continue to talk about our mobility framework. And this meeting is a combination of our RTC members and our Mobility and Environmental Committee coming together to have a discussion about those policies moving forward. And then I also sit on the Regional Law, Safety, and Justice Committee. We will meet on the 30th at the end of the month. And with that, I will turn to my colleagues and we will see what they have been up to. And I will start with Councilmember Michaud.
Thank you, Madam President. I serve on the King County Regional Water Quality Committee, and we had 2 briefings recently. The first was on the West Point water treatment plant. There was an incident on January 13th where some sewage got into the Puget Sound due to a power outage at West Point. Thankfully, there was no known or expected negative impacts on wildlife or to the public, and that power situation is being addressed. And then we also got an update on the Clean Water Plan strategies. This is an ongoing discussion. We were not presented with any of these costs for these strategies, so discussions continue. I also attended I think it was in July, the Kent Parks and Recreation Commission meeting. It was a special meeting where some of the previous commissioners were allowed to attend. And we talked about the upcoming Kent Parks and Open Space Plan for 2022. And we gave our input and our thoughts on what should be included in that plan. And the public is welcome to also give their input. And you can go to a new website for the Parks Department called engagekentparks.com. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilmember Michaud. Councilmember Kaur.
Thank you. I did not have any meetings in the past month since the last meeting. I do serve as the chair for Puget Sound Clean Air Agency Advisory Council, and we are meeting tomorrow morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Larmer.
I also did not have any meetings since our last council meeting, but I will be on Friday attending the King County Aging and Disabilities Advisory Council and have a report on that next time.
Great, thank you. Councilmember Boyce.
Like the rest, Madam President, no meeting. I serve as the vice chair of PIC, Sound City Association, so we got a meeting coming up a week from tomorrow. So thank you.
Great. Councilmember Thomas.
Thank you, Madam President. I don't want to break the chain here. So we didn't have one either. But we do have one, if I'm not mistaken, on the 15th, as I am a member of the Puget Sound Regional Fire Authority, along with President Troutner and Councilmember Boyce. But I believe it's at 5:30, and it will be a Zoom meeting as far as I know. So that brings me up to date and concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilmember Thomas. Councilmember Fincher.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I chair the King Conservation District and our advisory committee, and we had a meeting. I reported that we have Rosa Mendez, who is our new executive director. We are also looking at redoing and updating some financial reporting and accountability policies. We have Mental Illness and Drug Dependency Advisory Committee, which will meet later this month. And as far as Arts Commission, as you had mentioned, we have the Spotlight Series. You can go online, kentwa.gov/arts, and you can see the entire schedule. We have some really good acts coming in. So there's music, there's tap dancing. It's really worthwhile. The Celtic Christmas show is back. There will be masking and distancing, but it is back. So check that out. And Free to Roam, the KentCreates.com arts exhibit hall portal. That is working back up and running and waiting for entry. So Free to Roam is the current arts exhibit. So take a look and feel free to enter. That's it.
Thank you, Councilmember Fincher. Madam Mayor, that ends our reports.
All right, thank you very much. We will move on the agenda. Item number 6 is a public hearing. We do not have one this evening. Item number 7 is public comment. The public comment period is your opportunity to speak to the council or mayor on issues that relate to the business of the city of Kent or the agenda items council will consider at this meeting. Comments that do not relate to the business of the city of Kent are not permitted. Additionally, the state of Washington prohibits people from using public comment period to support or oppose a ballot measure or a candidate for office. I do ask when you come up that you state your name and city of residence for the record, and we do have a timer that'll show a 3-minute clock for the public comment. Kim, can you call our speakers, please?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I have one person signed up to speak remotely tonight, Polly Giulianotti. So,
my name is Polly Giulianotti of Next Steps Washington. Today, I've come to speak about a Kent resident who is a victim of police violence. On July 25th, Kent PD received a call about a suicidal man in a mental health crisis in need of urgent intervention to save his life. Kent officers did not dispatch as a matter of department policy, falsely claiming on camera new police reform laws prevented their response. Family members traveled hours in vain to save their loved one's life, while Kent police stood idly by only minutes away. Police Chief Padilla's policy entitled New Service Delivery Protocols became effective the same day as the new police reform laws, and it's clear this policy contributed to the man's wrongful death, both unnecessary and preventable. No reasonable interpretation of state law required this policy. Chief Padilla and officers under his command want us to believe they had enough time for some vanity-filled political statement and not enough time to respond to the emergency call to begin with, not enough time to save this man's life. Chief Padilla is using the authority of the badge and the gun, the uniform, the supposed force of the law behind him. But instead of doing his job, he has violated his oath to protect and defend, breached the public's trust, and sacrificed public safety in order to score partisan political points. And now, it's cost a life. Mayor, council members, the new police reform laws will be enforced, and it'll be Kent taxpayers defending the city in court if necessary. Next Steps Washington calls for Chief Padilla's removal from office. The police can't say they care so much about the law when they leave such a big exception for when it pertains to police reform. And perhaps new legislation with jail time backing it up might provide law enforcement with the proper motivation to do their job. Thank you.
thank you. Mayor, I don't have anybody else signed up to speak.
All right, thank you, Kim. Okay, item number 8 is our consent calendar. This evening we have items A through N, compilation of work that the council has done over the last several weeks at the final committee of the whole meeting, as we've transitioned now into individual committee meetings for the council. So with that, a motion would be in order to approve the consent calendar items A through N.
Madam Mayor, I move to approve consent calendar items A through N.
Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries 7-0. Item number 9 is other business. We do not have any this evening. Item 10 is bids. We've got a bid for the Skyline Sanitary Sewer Extension. Timely, given our earlier presentation this evening. And joining us is our Public Works Director, Chad Beeren.
Thanks for having me. Not planned. That wasn't a planned item. It is timely. This bid is for the extension of sewer on the West Hill to the Skyline Sanitary Sewer Pump Station, which I bet a number of you have visited with Tim Laporte in the past. It's one of our more troublesome pump stations that pumps sewage off the West Hill and then down and into this existing gravity system. So this is extending the gravity system up to that apartment complex. So we'll be able to deliver the sewage down to the lower pump station by gravity, and hopefully won't have calls, repeated calls to the existing pump station, which we get probably once or twice a month. We have to send people out there either overnight or on the weekends to take care of what we call ragging. And this is the issues with people putting the wrong stuff down the drain. So excited to have this bid in front of us. It's the engineer's estimate was $533,985, and Northwest Cascade came in at $515,218 to $1846. So we're recommending award.
All right, any questions for Chad? Okay, seeing none, a motion would be in order.
Madam Mayor, I move to award the Skyline Sanitary Sewer Extension Project to Northwest Cascade, Inc. in the amount of $515,218.46 and authorize the mayor to sign all necessary documents subject to final terms and conditions acceptable to the city attorney and public works director.
Second.
All right, I've got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries 7-0. Thank you, Chad. That brings us to item number 11 on our agenda, which is executive session regarding collective bargaining. We are anticipating about 30 minutes, and there will not be any action when the meeting reconvenes. I don't know how you can re-adjourn. So with that, we will move into executive session. All right. Welcome back. Council is reconvening. There's the word that we're looking for. After an executive session, there is no action to be taken at this point. So that brings us to the end of our agenda. And with that, we are adjourned.